Hey y'all, it's Day. So I'm gonna be doing a reading for us today. I'm very much looking forward to doing this reading as always. The other thing is I'm not entirely sure if it who it's for. I feel like it might be for me, but I don't know if it will be relatable to you guys. So I'll definitely know, after the reading. But let's see. Ooh, I'm so excited because I'm using one of my favorite decks today. I'm actually might use two decks, but I'm using like one of my favorite ones. And when I say favorites, like all my decks like have a special place in my heart because I don't think from my perspective that I'm someone that just has like a whole bunch of decks. I haven't actually counted them now that I think about it, but I think I might have like 7 decks or something like that. And there are definitely some decks out there that I've seen that I would like to have, but I'm not pressed. And I'm still like getting to learn these decks too. And every time that I revisit a deck, it's always like a significant amount of time since the last time I used it. And I always feel like I always am reminded of where I was with reading the last time that I used the deck. So I was like, dang, it's been a long time. I've learned so much since then, and I've grown so much since then. So it's always giving me that energy. And then I always get this nervous energy, and I'm like, what if I can't read the deck? Because that was something that I felt like, we were trying to learn more about your intuition and how to understand the messages that are coming through in addition to like knowing the foundational meanings of the cards. It's always a journey trying to like find that medium between being informed and also like leaving space for your spiritual team to come through and input what really needs to be heard, and trying to understand the difference between that and your conscious mind. It's just like it's a lot, at least for me, or maybe I overcomplicated it, but yeah. So yeah, but I say all that to say that this deck that I'm referring to is actually an oracle deck, and I felt like it was like a friendly type of deck when I got this as a beginner. Like, you know how they always talk about like the death card and the devil card, like they're not bad cards, like they don't always like mean something bad. As a beginner, for me, I found it helpful to get like a more uplifted type of deck. I'm pretty sure I started with Oracle decks before I even really started with Tarot, because because the Oracle deck is a little bit more open, I feel like, in regards to its interpretation. I felt like that was me getting my foot wet. So that's for anyone who cared. But yeah, let's go. Angels, guides, ancestors, God source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What needs to be heard? What do we need to be aware of in regards to this message? Thank you, angels, guys. What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What are the things that we can keep in mind? Yeah. So there's something coming through about um, one of the cards in here that peeked through is a peacock, and how I was thinking about from my perspective how like radiantly beautiful a peacock is. And then there's this balance between like peacocks actually know it. I've seen a couple of videos of peacocks and like they know they're beautiful. They know that they attract what they desire. They know that they are the desire of many other creatures. And so there's this teetering or balancing between knowing you're beautiful and being willing to show it, and also knowing that it's like your divine right, like it's above you now. So the peacock is like I was born like this. So there's something of like not being for or against something, or it's just like it's just giving me as a matter of fact type of energy. It's like I don't know what I was trying to say. Okay, so I saw the peacock. At the top of the spread, we have the weaver. The weaver can represent intention. It can represent your mindset. It's an understanding that your mindset, your words, they direct your life. They are a method of travel. It's a tool that can be used for your mobility. So even when you are physically feeling stagnant, you can use your words through affirmations. You can use your words through, positively, like being aware of how you talk about the circumstances that you find yourself in, how you talk about, your current situation, how you talk about, or if you express at all, what you would like to see for your life and stuff like that. The weaver. So it's kind of like having your hands in something, having intention for something. It's like we might not be able to direct every aspect of our life, but we can kind of put a curve on things, or we can make things more acute or more sharp in our life. And something that was coming through in the reading previous to this one is this idea of being aware how you deliver your package, the manner in which you deliver something. And the example that came through is like saying something that someone needs to hear, but still being mindful of how you come across. Um, that was coming up last reading. Something about, I forgot what the actual post said, but it's basically acknowledging that what you, even forgot the order, but it was like your thoughts become actions, your actions become something else, or maybe there was something before that. It's just like breaking down how what we think and what we feel bleeds into our actions. So being mindful of that. So yeah, the point of it is that something about your thoughts and your words create mobility for you. So it allows you to get through to the next thing. And being aware of that can be beneficial. On the right, we have take risks. And this feels like really fun. It feels like discovering and being discovered at the same time. That's interesting. So it's like when you go on an adventure or you um, embark on something, it's like a pursuit to understand yourself on some level, or to expose something, to release something, to gain something. So there's this reference to there's an exchange in everything that we do. So as you're going on an adventure, you're also internally going on some form of adventure where you're learning more about yourself because you're exposing yourself to new situations and circumstances that you may have not experienced before. On the left of the weaver, we have the sovereign in reverse. Very interesting. I want to read that out the book, actually. It feels with the sovereign that there's something missing. Feels like you know your royalty, but you're having a hard time implementing it or executing it or expressing it. You know you're special, but you're not everybody else. Not everybody else. Not that everyone else, but most other people that you interact with on a daily or weekly frequency don't know that you're royalty, or that you think highly of yourself, or that you think that you're special, or that you think that you're going places. The sovereign. The sovereign. One more. Okay. One. Okay. So it came out in reverse, but I'm gonna read the upright and the reverse. The sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, and enthusiast within us. It is a time to welcome in passion and fire while creating structure that allows for you to nurture your dreams. Sovereign creates a container which allows for growth within themselves and others. They approach situations with a no bullshit attitude and may come across as harsh to some people. Their strong boundaries and opinions may even be intimidating to others, but in reality, it is their way of nurturing. They have no interest in appeasing others simply to keep them comfortable. They will continue to push those around them so they can grow. The sovereign also calls us to create structure. From a place of structure, the sovereign knows that life runs more smoothly, allowing for the manifestation of true success, security, and happiness. Where in your life do you continually find chaos? Where are your energy and resources getting sapped? The sovereign invites you to examine those situations practically and cut out what is no longer serving you. This is not a time for being sentimental or nostalgic. The sovereign is realistic about what is needed and gets it done, knowing that it makes room for true peace. Very interesting. So the sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, enthusiast in us. There are strong boundaries and opinions may even be together. Very interesting. This is different than what I remembered the last time. The definitions. Okay. Very interesting. So the sovereign coming out in reverse, there was this one aspect that was coming up about, like thinking of yourself as special, but do other people know that you think the way that you think of yourself? So with it coming out in reverse, it's speaking to the fact that you haven't been as expressive, or maybe you haven't been able to hold on to that confidence when you're interacting with other people or expressing yourself. So right now is a good time to really ground in this energy of, I think highly of myself and I don't really like feel guilty about that. Going back to this, like, it's a matter of fact. Like, of course I'm beautiful. Of course I am, um, of course I am special. Very interesting. At the top of the deck, we had the warrior. The top of the deck, undercurrent energy. Yeah, I'm hearing the word face, and then I was hearing the phrase show more face. Show more face. So your spiritual team is encouraging you to kind of like find opportunities to put yourself out there more, like having that conversation or introducing yourself, like making yourself available to opportunities, allowing people to see your face. So maybe if you've been taking a break from social media or something like that, popping back on, I see some opportunities that will make themselves available to you in doing that. Okay, so towards the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card coming out in reverse. There's also a message coming up is like you've learned enough for this next stage in your life. So if you are someone that kind of like, I have heard, I just recently like learned about this, but apparently some people, like, if they want to talk about something or present something, they'll like research and research and research, and even after a period of time where they could trust themselves to try to share the information, they'll like continue researching, like they'll continuously like look for more things to research as a way to avoid taking that next step, because it can be scary and it does feel like a little bit of a risk there. But just like this card, like I chose this deck because I felt like it would be good for my nervous system and for my inner child that loves purple and blue things. And I was hoping at the time when I got this deck that it would make me being able to receive the messages a lot more easily. And it did, it does. But yeah, someone has been avoiding like taking that next step. And they're like, oh, I need more material before I get started, or I need this before I get started, or actually I haven't researched about that yet. Let me look into that, but it's like kind of like a distraction or borrowing more time. And so your spiritual team is coming through to acknowledge that like you are ready to go ahead and put out whatever it is that you've been working on, that you've been saving for, that you are ready, that you are worthy of someone taking a second look at you. And that's why they're also encouraging you to show more face with this warrior card coming out. They want you to show more face, have more conversations, let the sun hit you, allow yourself to be seen, take risks. So yeah. And I'm hearing the word abandonment. So with the death card, there's a transformation or a transportation ready to happen for you, where you're kind of like, oh, did I forget anything? It's like, okay, that's so funny. I'm thinking of like a 90s sitcom type of family show or something where like they're going off to college, like everything has been building up to this point where seasons end, and now they're like the show is transitioning and somebody's going off to college, or on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when like they're moving out the house or something and the house is empty, and it's just like, oh my gosh, why is Will in this house by himself and there's no furniture? Like, it's invoking those type of feelings. Like, so anyways, imagine someone going off to college and they just keep coming back to the house, or they keep going back to their room to make sure they didn't forget anything, but they know that they didn't forget anything. It's just like, all right, this is my last look at this. Like, so yeah, someone has that energy with the death card in reverse. They're prolonging the transition, and it's not even like it's good things available to you ahead for you. So someone has reached milestone, milestone energy, milestone energy, checkpoint for those that like to play video games, checkpoint. You can save the game right here. So yeah, don't you love that? If for those of you that play video games, like I don't play video games anymore, but I like to watch people playing video games. So my partner plays video games all the time, and I just I love watching it. It's so visually pleasing. But you love when you finish a stage, a level, and you get to that next checkpoint. You love that for you. So you're definitely here, and it's so exciting, and it's nerve-wracking. Okay. So underneath this take risk card we've been talking about, we have the Magi in reverse. Ooh, I gotta read this. The Magi. The Magi. $98. Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you what deck I was using. 98. I thought I might have showed it. I didn't say it. Threads of Fate Oracle. Shadow Edition. Okay, so the Magi indicates a period where you need to look deeper. It asks you to examine what you think you know and then keep going. Throughout our lives, we build an infrastructure of beliefs that allow us to navigate life, but so often this system is built on top of a shaky foundation or out of weak materials. In other words, it is a time to question that which you have never noticed. What beliefs inform your decisions, passions, and ambitions? Yes, a lot of people are not living and they don't feel alive. They're not living their passions because their beliefs inform their decisions, and their beliefs might need some reevaluation. The Magi is a seer of illusion, and in turn they are able to cut through the fog and get to work. The Magi may see the world similar to a mirrored funhouse. They see the core of each experience and are able to acknowledge how many different realities exist in a single moment. Being able to see these many realities is a gift. It teaches us to be less attached to a single road, but instead see where all the roads meet. If we are courageous enough to see and be open to our life unfolding along any of the various roads, we invite in a magic that few get to experience. Yeah, so leaving space for your spiritual team. Leaving space, like, we have our own goals and things that we want to see for our life, but narrowing it down to what's really important and allowing our spiritual team to have a say in that invites blessings. Even a balanced magi can frustrate people. They have some trickster energy in that they can see the bigger picture and may know the answer, but they will present the information to you in a way that may spin your head. They are gifted with words, and everything they say can have multiple meanings. When the Magi is unbalanced, they can be very manipulative and self-seeking. They may talk down to others as they believe themselves to be greater and more knowledgeable, rather than present information meant to challenge others in the expectation that it will ultimately be empowering. The unbalanced Magi will present information in a way that is meant to make the other person feel small. In fact, they may enjoy the fact that others don't understand. Best tank energy. Yeah. Let us know if y'all have experienced that before. So yeah. Wow. That's beautiful. But so the message that I'm getting with the Magi is like, there is this caved in, like, hollow type of energy. Like, think of like a hollow Easter bunny rabbit or something. Like it's a candy or a ball, a circle, but the inside is hollow. But it's not a negative thing. Your spiritual team is saying like something about you going after something that you love, that you desire, that is innate to you, like it's natural, you enjoy doing it. Your gift, whatever you want to be of service to others. It's almost like the fact that this candy is hollow, it gives you the opportunity to add something to it. Like maybe you want to eat some whipped cream with it, or maybe you want to dip it in a chocolate syrup, or you want to do something else with it. So it's this acknowledgement of there is structure as far as there's certain things in your life that you're meant to do, but your spiritual team wants you to know that you also have a say in how it goes or how you enjoy it. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I just feel very strongly that someone is very excited to start a new journey or a new chapter in their life. And it's giving the energy of like your spiritual team wants you, you almost feel a little unworthy, or you're almost like second guessing yourself. So for me, an example that's coming through that I'm dealing with right now is a magazine that I did an interview with at least 5 years ago emailed me and asked me if I want to do another interview with them. And I said yes, and now I'm kind of like the things that I was doing the last time that they interviewed me, I'm not doing those things anymore, but I do still feel very positive about my future. But I'm also like being presented with a choice that I've literally spent since 2020, so the last 4 years, learning about tarot, learning about learning about myself, literally healing trauma, releasing trauma. I've been doing a lot of work, so my identity has changed a lot since the last interview. And I've also been in a space where I'm contemplating like do I want to be known for doing tarot? Do I want to be known for being a spiritualist? Do I want to be known for like what I do? Because it's not always accepted, even though there is a movement with tarot, I think, or spirituality. It's not accepted, and I haven't necessarily, like, even though I have been posting these videos on YouTube, which is public, I haven't necessarily attached my first and last name to what I do. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. So yeah, I've been like, and then also there's this unworthiness or second wave of self-doubt coming through, where it's just like, can I live up to what I expect from myself doing this? I don't even know, like, so yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. But but I do feel like it would be beneficial for me to do it. But I'm scared. So I'm definitely feeling this take risk energy. Like new opportunities are available or will be available to you upon taking this step. And then going back to the peacock that was peeking through, there's like something between, like, their peacocks are literally naturally beautiful, but wow, the extent. And I don't know. Anyways, so towards the middle of the spread, we had a few cards came out directly on top of each other. The first one is Get Creative in reverse. And then Revolutionary is coming down. Oh, and then Fate in reverse. The Observer. So there's this energy of allowing yourself to figure it out. There's something about, like, you may be having a lot of anxiety about taking the next step because you're thinking about it too closely. Like, the way that you think things are going to happen or could happen is a little bit limited. So it's like you might as well just be present and just see what happens. Like, be present. Just deal with what you can deal with right now and just take one step at a time. Allow yourself to get grounded. But overall, the Revolutionary card came out, so speaking to, like, how brave it is to be you, how brave it is to be yourself, how brave it is for you to be authentic, no matter what it is you're doing, or no matter what it is that you're being called to do, or no matter it is, like, expressing yourself. So again, there's this energy of, like, you may have been studying something for a while, or you may have been practicing something for a while, but you haven't been necessarily showcasing it as much, or allowing other people to see this aspect, this facet of you yet. So it's giving, like, telling yourself is important, yes, but telling other people is important too. Yeah, so going back to, it's like, you know you're special, but do they know you know you're special? You know you're special, but do you know you're special until they know that they're special? Can you tell them that you're special? Can they see that you're special? So there's something about letting people see that you value yourself. Let people hear you tell yourself that you're special, or tell others that you're special. Like, what? Like, loving yourself out loud is the way that it's coming through. Loving yourself out loud, not being ashamed of your beauty, not being ashamed of your uniqueness, not being ashamed of what you think is cool about yourself, because there's things that we think that we're cool about ourselves, or we think is interesting about ourselves, but we second guess it when it comes to other people. Like trusting that what you like is likable, and with the understanding that not everybody else has to like it though. So it's like standing on your own 2 feet. Like, can you be steadfast in your beliefs about you? Yeah. Can you follow your own plan, even if others don't come along with you? Like, how much do you believe in yourself? Very interesting. Okay. So underneath this sovereign card that we talked about earlier, where you know you're special, but others don't necessarily, we have speak truth in reverse. So I just noticed that right now. So yeah, that's the one talking about. Say it out loud. Now I'm just getting like healthy conversations with yourselves, having a healthy perspective of yourself. So now there's something coming through about like getting confident with your prices. If you offer a service, like getting comfortable with the prices that you're asking for. Really reevaluating if the prices that you have right now feel too comfortable. Like, this is how I know that I'm not overcharging people, so you undercharge yourself. Something you shortchange yourself. Are your prices fair to you? So, is there anything else that we need to know regarding this message? Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this message? Is there anything else that we need to be aware of? Okay, so we have the pillar in reverse. I'm hearing the word stagnancy. Something about your foundation is going to be very important, and it's very important for you to revisit whatever that looks like for you. You definitely need to get to a place where you are feeling like you have a strong foundation, feeling grounded, feeling secure, in order to act out whatever this is for you. So you may need to visualize yourself doing what you're afraid to do, or kind of like in your head or in your imagination putting yourself there. And it may be hard to do, but like something about exposing yourself to the idea that you are. And then we have Get Wild coming out on top of the Weaver. So again, your spiritual team wants you to have intentions, set intentions, know that they are wanting you to collaborate in regards to like the design of your life. Your spiritual team, God wants you to put your input into the direction of your life with intentions. And they want you to get creative, came out earlier directly underneath this Weaver card. So get creative, allow yourself to have fun, think of yourself highly, allow yourself to be more bold about how you value yourself. It's like love yourself out loud. we have play in reverse, so we definitely need to all like loosen up and allow ourselves to have fun with expressing ourselves, because remember, at the end of the day, it's about us, what we think about ourselves. So follow that feeling that says like, actually I feel better just taking a day off today. Actually, I feel better if I just not do anything at all today. Actually, just like getting in tune with your flow, not putting so much pressure on yourself. Because like sometimes we have goals, but then we feel like because we set that goal that we have to go hard for 5 days at a time. And the truth is that I found is like there is this ebb and flow. Like I know that I need to get this done, but I'm still being mindful of my energy. And I know that if I need to rest today, that I'm going to allow myself to rest today, and that it's like trusting that it's going to pay off. Every time that I allow myself to rest, when I need to rest or when I want to rest, when I desire to rest, I always like end up having more creative energy than I expected. This happened when I had my Etsy shop, like I think in 2019, 2020, 2021. I was doing so much work, and I had another job that I was doing on the side, and I had just got to the point where I was like, I can't do both. And I can't do both, but I got to this point where I realized that I could be more successful with one of them if I just put all of my energy into one rather than doing both. And the reason that I was doing both was because this fear of security, like I need to make sure like I'm good, so I need to have like something that I'm going to get paid for a little bit more immediately. And then I just got to the point where I got really burned out, and I couldn't do that second job for an entire week. So I was like literally burnt out, and I couldn't do nothing else. But I made a decision to just not do it, and I rested for like 5 days. And then when I came out of my rest, I literally what's it called? I had the word. I literally renovated my entire Etsy shop after it. And it was like everything felt new and fresh. And it was crazy to me because I did not have the energy nor the creative impression to do it. But it was only after I took a week off of rest that inspiration even came, that idea even came. So then when I moved forward after I, did all the pictures and everything over, and then I started marketing, I had more motivation to market my work, and I didn't miss a beat as far as income. So my income increased because I was putting all my energy into one channel instead of dividing my energy into two for scarcity reasons. So yeah. So your spiritual team wants you to trust the process, allow yourself to be balanced, and that you acknowledge when you need rest. Take risk, have fun, be creative, put your face out there more. Have fun with it, and remember that you're doing it for you in the first place. So as long as you're grounded in your body, that you're constantly checking in with your energy body. You're constantly, whatever you're doing, like, does this feel good to me? Is this something that I want to do? Is my energy saying that this is beneficial for me? Like using that as a compass. What's going on around me? So yeah. Something about that energy is authentic, and that's why the revolutionary is coming out, because of that quote you may have seen, like something like, in a world that wants to constantly tell you, something's wrong with you, being authentic or being yourself is a revolutionary act, or loving yourself is a revolutionary act. It's something like that. So it's literally a revolutionary act to reclaim the aspects of yourself that are yours. They're reserved for you. They're called like your birthright. Thank you, finally, because I felt like this has been dragging on. Like, what's the point? Because that goddamn peacock, it's their birthright to be beautiful, and they're not ashamed of it. And it's like, this is what it is. Like, I'm beautiful. Like, it's not something special that you use to, like, get over on other people. And it's not, and I'm not gonna acknowledge it. It's just like, it's a birthright. It's a normal thing. Like, so your spiritual team is like, your spiritual team wants you to get in this mindset of, like, I'm beautiful, it's a fact. I'm creative, it's a fact. I am the one, it's a fact. Like it's normal. Like, so yeah. I don't know if I said it or not, but the play card came out in reverse. So yeah, they want you to loosen up and have more fun with things. And I'm going to, I don't like to mix my decks. Like, I don't want to find one of my cards in another deck. So I'm going to take these up and I'm going to pull. Like, I want every card. Like, do y'all check, or do any of y'all, if y'all read, like, count your cards? Because I don't want to lose a card. And if I do lose a card, like, I need to be in the exact place that I was using them. Because sometimes they can, like, fall somewhere. I want all my cards together. Okay, so then I'm using the Astral Soul Oracle deck. Let's see if there's any messages. Thank you, angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This video for me has really just turned into a chill reading. I hope, because I feel like I did a little bit more talking about myself in the beginning and even throughout the reading. I feel like this one is a little more informal than my other readings. Yes. Dang, it's like a whole reading. Yeah. Okay, that feels good. So, the under the deck, the top of the deck undercurrent energy is Saturn. Boundaries, limitations, delays, responsibilities. Very interesting. I'm getting like the structure or the character of someone, and I'm hearing bold. So I'm getting someone like standing on business, or like standing up for themselves, standing being courageous about who they say they are, like not being ashamed of who they say they are, having a backbone about their personal identity, like taking pride in who they are. And it's not in an egoic way, it's just kind of like I accept who I am and I will back myself up about myself. Like I'm not gonna, it's like you can't gaslight me energy. Like I know who I am. I've put in the time, energy, and effort. So if this reading is resonating for you, your spiritual team wants you to know that like you're not delusional by saying that you are ready or getting to a place where you acknowledge your work, you acknowledge you're talented, you're getting to this place. They're wanting you to get to this place where you actually believe yourself when you say I'm talented, I am beautiful, I hold this title, I've worked for this title, I am authorized to speak on this, I authorize myself to show up in this way. Period. Period. I authorize myself. Self-appointed is okay. Okay. So at the top of the spread we have vertex. Karmic point, synastry, fated connections, turning point. Heavy on the turning point. It's a turning point for us where, and I'm hearing the word reclaim, we reclaim who we thought at one point that we might be. And we all have already got to that past where like we thought something about ourselves and then we took action on it, we've been working on it, and now we're willing to tell others. I am the first house on the right of the vertex. I am your personal identity. This is the house of the self and identity. Here's where we can see one's personality, behavior, character, physical appearance, as well as their attitude towards life. It starts with the sign known as the ascendant. I am. So yeah, you're allowing yourself to be seen. I'm hearing the word showcased. There's so many elements. I was going to say there's so many elephants. There's so many elephants. What does that mean? There's so many elephants. So it's like people can see our gifts and they can see the special things about us and they can see the negative things about us a lot of the times before us. So there's a lot of elephants in the room. So going back to this energy is like, you know you're special, but do others know that you know you're special? So on the right of the spread we have solar eclipse, embracing change, revelations, courage, determination, connection. So yeah, so you're reaching for this deeper sense of self, deeper sense of connection to yourself through allowing other people see how you communicate with yourself. How do you communicate yourself? So other people are going to get to witness how you love yourself, how you value yourself. Very interesting. Slightly to the left, but underneath the solar eclipse, we have Juno in reverse, representing sacred union. Yes, absolutely. So this is what your spiritual team is wanting to address with you. The sacred union is speaking to your relationship with yourself. So anytime the focus is like going to other people, like what would they think, what would they say, your spiritual team is asking you to bring that focus back to yourself. How are you enjoying this? How would you like it if you took this next step? How do you feel about taking this on? Are you inspired by it? Are you motivated? So like they want you to continue to focus on the messages, what you're receiving, what you're feeling, what is your experience. A lot of times we're living outside of ourselves. We're worried about other people's experience. How are they interpreting? If you find yourself like you're always looking at someone else before you make a decision. I hate when people do that. Like, I instantly do not like a person when I see that shit. When I'm like talking to, like, it depends on the situation. I don't think that is always a negative thing, but in certain groups, like, you're talking to a couple of people and like they don't know how they think about it. They have to look to the other person's reaction first before they say what they think. And sometimes you can see that, like, they were excited about it or they thought it was a good idea, but then they look to someone else and they feed off of, oh, the other person's not feeling it. So I'm just like not gonna say, like, I hate that. That's annoying. So the sacred union between you and yourself that you have is kind of like being your own best friend, being your own big brother, being your own big sister, that you kind of encourage yourself and stand by yourself for yourself. So underneath this first house, I am, we have conjunction, unity, autonomy, individuation, inner self, self-motivation, concentration, personal interest. Yeah, so your spiritual team is wanting you to get clear and get tighter on what you think is important, what you're interested in. They want you to focus on individuation, autonomy. Who are you? Inner self, motivation, concentration, personal interest. They want you to focus on your experience. So we have the South Node on the left of that. And this is one of the 3 cards that's coming directly underneath the vertex, which came out at the top of the spread. So we have South Node, we have Kazemi in reverse, and then we have Virgo. So this is what it's looking like underneath the vertex. South Node in the heart, Virgo. There's certain aspects of yourself where you overanalyze yourself. I've been getting for myself, like, I want to focus more on spontaneity. Your ability to be spontaneous can be a indicator of how creative you allow yourself to be or how expressive you allow yourself to be. And with the Kazemi in the heart in reverse, it's kind of speaking to that, where you like hesitate when it comes to expressing yourself, or you overanalyze how you're coming across. And that limits your ability to be creative. So we have Ceres depicted, or which indicates nurture, is coming out in the choice point position. So nurturing yourself is important, and this card is coming out above Neptune. And Neptune represents inspiration, dreams, spirituality, delusion. So your spiritual team is wanting you to nurture your delusion, or what may feel like a delusion right now. So entertain your ideas, entertain your dreams, entertain your wants, needs, your desires, entertain your motivations, entertain your want to go on an adventure, and feed it and nurture it and care for it and allow it to grow and allow it to be real, and get to the space where you're doing that out loud, so that other people know that you also value yourself and your dreams and your interests. Underneath the Saturn card, yes, because I was like, when this is the first card that came out as the top of the deck under current energy. And it was interesting because Saturn represents boundaries, limitations, delays, responsibilities. But I didn't never like feel like Saturn was feeling like, strict or limiting, even though Saturn can mean that. So if Saturn is often referred to as the father, like the father sometimes can be the disciplinarian, or at least that archetype can represent that, or the limitations, the boundaries. Saturn is giving me more like more happier, lighter, positive aspects of a father. So the father can be the disciplinarian, but the father can also be like that big son that like pushes you forward and affirms you and tells you like you, it's like the dad or the grandpa telling you like, you know, you're a Lincoln, right? Like someone that takes pride in their last name, and they're like, it's innate for you, like it's like getting a blessing from a father figure, getting a blessing, their blessing, or their yeah, their blessing for you to go forward, basically. Wow, that's interesting. So you're getting your blessing, you're getting a blessing from someone that you value, that you look at in that archetypal type of way. Like you wouldn't mind, you would be honored if someone thought that highly of you. But Saturn is also telling you that you've done the work. Again, going back to this researching as a way to prolong or buy more time. Your instructor, your mentor is telling you like you're ready. Then we have Mars coming out. I forgot where I even got this from. Willpower, desire, fortitude, rage. Interesting. So we have the third house in reverse. I think, yeah, your spiritual team doesn't want you to like think too much about what you got going on. This is the house of the mind and ideas. Here is where we see the concrete thinking, thoughts, communication, mental agility, and the capacity to relate to the most immediate and daily social environment like siblings or neighbors. It's giving like you don't have to think too much about it or overanalyze the situation. And I'm hearing the word birthright again. So it's giving like walking into that room like you belong there type of energy. Like you don't have to fangirl or fanboy, like it's just feeling worthy type of energy. We have the Libra coming out in the choice point position, and they're saying fairness is important, but like make sure that it's fair, not just for you. I mean, not just for the other person, but for you also. So going back to like reevaluating the prices that you set for your services, perhaps you need to require a little bit more because you value yourself more. We have the 11th house. I hate Roman numerals. I think this is the 11th house. This is the house of, oh, this is the 9th house. This is the 9th house. This is the house of higher and elevated thought as well as expansion. It covers long distance travels, foreign languages, inspiration, optimism, publications, higher education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, ideals, morals, and ethics. In reverse. Then we have the 10th house. This is the house of fulfillment and social status. Here's where we see structures, corporations, tradition, ambition, public image and fame, discipline, achievements, recognition, rules, and father figure. It is also associated with power and authority as well as the people who exert them. It's in the choice point position. So yeah, definitely a turning point for people's career right now. And it feels like this reading is about it starting with your identity, who you are and who you are that you're willing to be brave enough to exert it to other people or tell other people. So The fifth house, I create, is in the choice point position. This is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are. The pleasure of showing who we truly are. Yeah. So that peacock is like, they enjoy showing it too, showing their feathers off too. And it's going back to this, like, not feeling guilty for that either. Not feeling guilty for how you feel about yourself. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision. How we like to have fun, playfulness and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. Not feeling guilty about having fun. Seventh house, this is the house of partnerships. Here is where we can see the personal relationships that involve commitment or cooperation of some sort, marriage, spiritual union, agreements, societies, and business partners. So yeah, it's like sharing, knowing that this sacred union that you have with yourself and how you view yourself, sharing that with others, how, it will bring about authentic relationships, that you can truly show up in relationships like as yourself, and how rewarding it is to be enjoyed, to enjoy and to be enjoyed. Wand and crescent, surrender, restore, reflection, intuition, stillness. Heavy on all these words. So really, this is everything that your spiritual team is asking you to kind of like surrender to the fact that this is a birthright. So it's meant, not only is it meant for you to experience, but like you couldn't deny it if you wanted to, because it's your birthright. So you kind of surrender to the fact, like I said, the peacock is like, it's not even really just something that I have to be like overly prideful about. And I also don't have to feel guilty about the fact that I'm beautiful. And then restore, like restoring these aspects of yourself that in the past may have not allowed you to imagine. Like with this Neptune card, they want you to, in the series coming out in the choice point underneath, nurture your dreams, your inspiration, your spirituality, nurture your delusions, nurture your wants, wishes, needs, desires. So that is a form of restoration, restoring this aspect of yourself that was broken in the past or didn't realize itself. Could be real, could be true, could be a reality. Reflection, intuition, stillness. Yeah. Then we have Venus, love, pleasure, values, possessions. Stellium, representing reinforcement and concentration. So we had reclaim come out earlier. We had the father figure, Saturn, saying that like you've done enough studying, you've done enough research, you've done enough planning. You are worthy. You have the authority to take on this role and to share it with others and to refer to yourself as such. Reinforcement and concentration. So continue to stay focused. We have void of course, pause in time, change of plans, limbo, improvisation. So giving your spiritual team space to do what they're gonna do in this. So you have your hands in it. Going back to in the Threads of Fate Oracle, the first deck that I used, the Weaver came out. So your intentions and allowing space for your spiritual team to do what they do, that is a hell of a combination. That is a hell of a collaboration. Then we have the new moon, new beginnings, planting seeds, setting intentions, blank page, a new chapter. We talked about the turning point earlier. Karmic point, synastry, fated connections, turning point. It was at the top of the spread. And then we got Scorpio. So it's like allowing others to see a deeper aspect of yourself, or seeing other facets of you. All the facets, we're all very dynamic, and there's another layer that we've learned about ourselves and we've taken time, energy, and effort into cultivating. This is something that we've been working on, we've been thinking about, we've been planning, and now it's time to like allow other people to see this aspect of yourself as well. Transformation with Pluto, Aquarius, doing things in a different way, valuing your uniqueness and allowing transformation to happen because of it or as a result of it. That's why the revolutionary card came out. We have Pluto representing transformation, rebirth, renewal, obsession in the choice point position. And we have Aquarius coming out on top of it. Doing things in a unique way, allowing that to transform your relationships. With the 7th house coming out in the choice point position earlier, like you're allowing yourself to have more authentic relationships. You're opening yourself up. You're trusting that whoever you are will be enough. The fuck? That's crazy. 111 on the clock. Quit playing. Quit playing. Quit playing. So yeah. I feel like this reading was, like I said, a little bit less informal than my other readings because I didn't even know who this reading was for. I was like, is it for me? Because like sometimes I get readings that are for me, and that I don't post on here. And then sometimes I have readings that's for me, for you, for us, you know what I'm saying? So this was a for me, for you, for us type of reading. So yeah, if this message resonated with you, like the video so that I know that the message was received. And if you enjoyed what I considered a little bit more vibey of a reading, just because I used more than one deck, which is something I usually don't do. And I think the reason that I was able to do it is because I used 2 oracle decks. Like, if I do just a tarot, my readings are long enough. If I do just a tarot reading, so it was still a long reading. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know the vibes. Thank you, angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energy, stand truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you.